Kayo po sir ay dumaan sa may bus lane sir. Bus lane only nakalagay po.
Ma'am, wala pa akong problema, no?
Opo sir. Lisensya na lang sir para mabilis tayo sir. Lisensya o RCR po. Para may sulat na rin sir.
Good morning everyone, Ayak back on the road. This is a bus lane operation. There are signages, there are lane markings, there are barriers reminding people that it's for buses only. Looks like the enforcer is still waiting for the license from this driver. Seems hesitant to hand it over. There's plenty of other vehicles behind him being apprehended, like this van, the truck, and all those cars. That's an unusual helmet, isn't it? Some kind of helmet cover or something like that. He has handed over his license. And actually he's lucky because he's come all the way to the front, while all the cars will actually be stuck here for much longer because obviously they can't slide up the side. Oh no! Look, there's a kitten again. This is the same place as last time. Is that the same kitten? Oh my goodness. He's persistent, huh? I'm glad to see he's still alive. But yeah, it's a dangerous place for him to be. A lot of drivers are going to be regretting it right now because this lane is going to be the slowest out of all of them. Look outside, right? All them seeing cars going past. And if you hear some purring on the microphone, that's just the cat that's sitting on my shoulder right now. They are issuing the tickets as quickly as possible, but I don't know. Some people are not happy, and if they argue, things can take a little bit longer. And I'm not saying any specific person's arguing, but just in general. I tried to put the cat back because he was trying to jump off me. And then he went back in the bus lane again. I think he only does it when humans are here. I hope so, because, well, he managed to survive this long. There were some riders that went past and shouted out, "Good job," because of course they're feeling the heat and then they see people inside the bus lane. I'm curious what the hazard is at the back. Let's go and see. Oh, he turned it off. Maybe he can hear me. I thought I was imagining things, but I'm not. They're all reversing back. Absolutely incredible. This is a first. I've never seen cars reversing along the bus lane. And not just a little distance, but a very long way. One of the enforcers was at my back, so he's now pushing everyone forward again. All of these cars were reversing on the bus lane. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. See what the sign says? Buses to the left, private vehicles to the right. And now they have to go through the same rigmarole of asking for the license, ORCR. Hopefully people comply. That's the Everest that we saw earlier. So they issued the ticket, confiscate the license, and they will have to go to LTO Main to collect that back. The ticket acts as his temporary operator's permit. I'm just wondering what's in the head of the drivers. First of all, they got stuck for a long time. Then they tried to reverse their way out. And then they were forced to go forward again and apprehended. One of the ladies a little while ago was getting a bit frustrated with the enforcer, but they're just doing their job. And this is on TV nearly every week. TV, radio, social media. I don't know, what else can you do, right? Some people, until they get a ticket, that's a different kitty from the one we saw earlier. At least he knows how to rest. And yes, don't worry, he is moving. There he is, look, sleeping next to the guard. Finally, you learn to rest, little one. You're always making us work so hard trying to save you from the bus lane. The purple color of these flowers remind me of when you remove an IR filter from a camera. That's the kind of color that you see. This one was a little bit unusual because when they first asked for the license, the passenger gave his license instead of the female driver. And what they said is, whenever we get apprehended, we just use my husband's license. I guess I spoke too soon because he's back on me again, which I don't mind, but I just don't want him in the bus lane, that's the problem. I just saw the enforcer hand over the ticket to this one. The best way to enjoy the EDSA bus lane is by riding a bus. That is his license that she's holding. It's confiscated. Let me cut in some footage of being on a bus so you can see what it's like and how buses can move people, a lot of people, right? That's the whole idea. They only consume one lane, but they're moving hundreds of thousands of commuters. The moment you allow private vehicles and motorcycles in the bus lane, the whole system will fail and it will not be as efficient, it will not be as effective. People will say traffic's too heavy. How do you reduce traffic? One of the big ways is improve mass public transport. Getting people onto the buses instead of having another car, another motorcycle on the road, it reduces volume of vehicles. At the end of the day, if you're in the bus lane, you're in the bus lane, right? There's a lot of drivers who just say, yep, fair enough. Here's my license, here's my ORCR, and they just want to get through as quickly as possible. What amazes me is those people who say, I'm in a rush, and then they'll sit there and argue for 10 minutes. There's another airport taxi. Obviously, it's on the way back to the airport. It's another private vehicle, taxi, and 2 motorcycles. Honestly, I don't know if they have enough tickets. Most of them have already run out of tickets. They've been on the road for many hours, so you can understand how quickly they get through their tickets. And these guys definitely aren't allowed in here. I've seen their trucks apprehended before. There's another motorcycle taxi at the back. And should I even be surprised that there's no license plate on the back of this? It's really non-stop for these guys. All day, ticket after ticket after ticket after ticket. Well, imagine the volume of vehicles on EDSA is over 400,000 per day. And then the bus lane wasn't really that strictly enforced for a long time. So a lot of people got used to it. And now it's hard to try and bring everything back into order. The rider here was asking, why isn't there a motorcycle lane? Well, if you look outside, you'll see there's 4 lanes full of motorcycles and cars, right? Do you really want a motorcycle lane? All riders will be forced to stay inside that. Even if it's congested, even if there are overloaded delivery riders, you will be forced to stay inside that single lane. You won't be able to do like this, where you can use any lane to find a way ahead. They just advised this lady rider on the time scale to claim back the license, because the temporary operator's permit has a deadline. It's a pretty cool style on this rider, but still it's a bus lane, so they will issue the ticket. I don't know what the enforcers are going to do because they're running out of tickets. Literally, they're running out of tickets. It's car after car, MC after MC. I can see another ANCAS at the back there. Like, it's on TV and radio and social media nearly every week, right? And I know a lot of people are going to say this because I've heard it before. Oh, I see a lot of people driving there. And then I also drive there. I was never apprehended before. The truth is they don't have enough manpower to permanently monitor 40 kilometers of bus lane that's north and south. Especially because there are multiple openings along the busway, right? So that emergency vehicles can get in and out. That's why it's not just bollards or barriers all the way along. And in fact, the barriers were removed from the flyovers and tunnels for safety reasons.
Nakaman siya.
Temporary restraining order.
Oo, naka-restraining. Eh, sino po ang CEO ninyo?
Sir, ano po concern niyo, sir?
Kasi masyadong matagal ang ating pasising.
ORCR binigay mo sir, hindi ba?
Hindi pa, sir.
Sir, palabas nila, sir, ng ORCR. Kasi, sir, normally kaya tayo nagtatagal dahil nga po yung mga driver. Nakikipag-discussion na, sir. Kayo po, sir, ay dumaan sa may bus lane, sir. Bus lane only, nakalagay po.
Ma'am, wala pa akong problema, no?
Opo, sir. Lisensya na lang, sir, para mabilis tayo, sir. Lisensya o RCR po. Para may sulat na rin, sir.
So the driver was basically asking why they don't use cameras to apprehend them. It's because there's a temporary restraining order from the Supreme Court preventing cameras from being used for apprehension. And you see a lot more MCs being ticketed over here, including what appear to be motorcycle taxis. There's another garbage truck here. 100% they know they're not allowed in the bus lane. The enforcer wants to make sure she gets the license before allowing this one to move forward because she knows if he decides not to stop, there's no way to stop him.